The Undertaker. Just saying the name sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? The mere mention of The Undertaker conjures images of darkness, power, and an almost supernatural presence that has haunted the WWE for decades. For 3 decades, this iconic figure captivated audiences worldwide. His entrance alone, with the tolling of the bell and the eerie fog, was enough to send chills down the spines of even the most seasoned wrestling fans. He was more than just a wrestler, he was a force of nature. His presence in the ring was unmatched, and his ability to tell a story through his matches was unparalleled. The Undertaker was a symbol of fear, power, and the inevitable. His character was built on the idea of death and the supernatural, and he played it to perfection. In the world of professional wrestling, few have achieved the legendary status of The Undertaker. His career is a testament to his dedication, his skill, and his ability to evolve with the times. His career spanned generations, leaving an indelible mark on WWE history. From the early days of his career to his final match, The Undertaker remained a constant, a figure that fans could always count on to deliver a memorable performance. From his chilling entrance to his awe-inspiring presence, The Undertaker became a global phenomenon. His matches were events, his promos were legendary, and his character work was second to none. He transcended the world of sports entertainment and secured his place in pop culture history. The Undertaker was not just a wrestler, he was a cultural icon, a figure that transcended the boundaries of the wrestling world. But behind the mystique, behind the darkness, was a man named Mark Calaway, a man who dedicated his life to his craft, who sacrificed his body and his personal life to entertain millions of fans around the world. Mark poured his heart and soul into this character, sacrificing his body to entertain millions, and entertain he did. His matches were not just fights, they were stories, tales of good versus evil, of life and death. This essay will delve into the remarkable career of The Undertaker. We will explore the highs and lows, the triumphs and the tribulations, the moments that defined his career and the legacy he leaves behind. We'll explore his journey from humble beginnings to becoming a wrestling icon, from his early days in the wrestling business to his debut in the WWE to his rise to superstardom. We will cover it all. Get ready to dig into the history of the Deadman. We will look at his most memorable matches, his greatest rivalries, and the moments that made him a legend. So sit back, relax, and prepare to take a journey into the world of The Undertaker. Every legend has a beginning, and The Undertaker's story starts in the heart of Texas. The Lone Star State, known for its vast landscapes and rich history, also served as the breeding ground for one of wrestling's most iconic figures. Before the darkness consumed him, Mark Calaway was a young athlete trying to find his footing in the world of professional wrestling. He was a towering figure even then, with a presence that demanded attention. But like many legends, his journey began with humble beginnings. He started his journey in 1984, wrestling under the name Texas Red. This was a time when the wrestling world was a patchwork of regional promotions, each with its own unique flavor and challenges. Calaway honed his skills in various territories, including world-class championship wrestling. These territories were the proving grounds for many future stars, and Calaway was no exception. He faced off against seasoned veterans and up-and-coming talents, each match a lesson in the art of wrestling. It was during this time that he began to develop his in-ring presence and experiment with different personas. Wrestling wasn't just about physical prowess, it was about storytelling, about connecting with the audience. Calaway understood this and began to craft characters that would resonate with fans. He adopted the moniker the Master of Pain while wrestling for the United States Wrestling Association. This persona was a far cry from the supernatural entity he would later become, but it was a crucial step in his evolution. The Master of Pain was fierce, relentless, and a force to be reckoned with in the ring. These early years were crucial for Calaway's development as a performer. Every match, every promo, every interaction with the fans was a building block, shaping him into the wrestler he would become. He learned the importance of psychology in wrestling, of making every move and every moment count. He learned the ropes, literally and figuratively, paying his dues in small venues across the country. These were the days of long drives, low pay, and hard lessons. But for Calaway, it was all part of the journey. He embraced the grind, knowing that each challenge was an opportunity to grow. Little did he know, these experiences were shaping him for the phenomenon he would soon become. The Undertaker was still a distant dream, but the foundation was being laid with every match and every persona he tried on. He was hungry for success, eager to prove himself in the squared circle. This hunger drove him to push his limits, to constantly improve and innovate. He wasn't just content with being good, he wanted to be the best. His dedication and natural talent didn't go unnoticed. Promoters and fellow wrestlers began to see the potential in the young Calaway. He had the size, the skill, and the charisma to be a star. It was only a matter of time before he got his big break. It wouldn't be long before a bigger opportunity came knocking, one that would change his life forever. This opportunity would come in the form of a character that would redefine his career and leave an indelible mark on the world of professional wrestling. The Undertaker was about to rise, and the wrestling world would never be the same again. In 1990, the wrestling world witnessed the birth of a legend. It was a time when the World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, was brimming with larger-than-life characters and intense rivalries. The stage was set for a new hero, or rather an anti-hero, to emerge and captivate the hearts and minds of wrestling fans around the globe. Mark Calaway, the man formerly known as Texas Red and the Master of Pain, stepped into the World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, as The Undertaker. His transformation into this dark, mysterious character was a masterstroke, blending elements of horror and mystique that had never been seen before in the wrestling world. His debut at Survivor Series 1990 was nothing short of unforgettable. The event was already highly anticipated, but the introduction of The Undertaker added an extra layer of excitement and intrigue. Fans were eager to see what this new character would bring to the table. The crowd fell silent as the ominous gong echoed through the arena. It was a sound that would become synonymous with The Undertaker, sending chills down the spines of both fans and opponents alike. The atmosphere was electric, filled with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. A hush fell over the audience as the shadowy figure of The Undertaker emerged, managed by the equally eerie Brother Love. The pairing was perfect, with Brother Love's unsettling presence complementing The Undertaker's dark persona. Together they created an aura of invincibility and fear that was palpable. From that moment, The Undertaker captivated audiences with his chilling persona and aura of invincibility. His slow, deliberate movements and menacing glare made him a figure of both fascination and terror. Fans couldn't take their eyes off him, and his matches became must-see events. He quickly rose to prominence, engaging in a memorable feud with Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest stars in wrestling history. This rivalry was a clash of titans, pitting the unstoppable force of Hulkamania against the immovable object that was The Undertaker. Their encounters were legendary, filled with drama and high stakes. Their clash at Survivor Series 1991 cemented The Undertaker's status as a force to be reckoned with. In a shocking turn of events, The Undertaker defeated Hulk Hogan to win his first WWE Championship. This victory not only solidified his place in the upper echelons of wrestling, but also marked the beginning of his legendary career. The Undertaker's character resonated with fans in a way few wrestlers could replicate. His unique blend of supernatural elements and athletic prowess made him stand out in a crowded field of talented performers. Fans were drawn to his enigmatic presence and the sense of danger he brought to the ring. He was a captivating blend of horror and athleticism, a larger-than-life entity who seemed to exist between the realms of reality and the supernatural. His matches often featured eerie, otherworldly elements that added to the spectacle and made each appearance an event in itself. Whether it was his iconic entrance, complete with fog and dim lighting, or his devastating finishing move, the Tombstone Piledriver, The Undertaker always delivered a performance that left fans in awe. His arrival marked the beginning of a new era in WWE, one that would forever be intertwined with the legend of the Dead Man. Over the years, The Undertaker would go on to become one of the most enduring and beloved figures in wrestling history. His career spanned decades, during which he reinvented himself multiple times, each iteration adding new layers to his already complex character. From the Ministry of Darkness to the American Badass, The Undertaker's ability to evolve kept him relevant and exciting for fans of all ages. One of the most memorable aspects of The Undertaker's career was his partnership with Paul Bearer. The eerie manager, with his ghostly pallor and high-pitched voice, was the perfect complement to The Undertaker's dark persona. Together, they created some of the most iconic moments in WWE history, including the introduction of the mystical urn, which was said to hold The Undertaker's power. The Undertaker's legacy is also defined by his incredible matches and rivalries. One of the most famous is his Hell in a Cell match against Mankind at King of the Ring 1998. This brutal encounter is still talked about today, particularly the moment when The Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the cell, a fall of over 16 feet, onto the announcer's table below. It was a moment that epitomized the extreme lengths The Undertaker would go to entertain and shock the audience. Another significant aspect of The Undertaker's career is his legendary WrestleMania streak. For over 2 decades, The Undertaker remained undefeated at WWE's biggest event of the year, amassing a record of 21 consecutive victories. This streak became one of the most anticipated and celebrated aspects of WrestleMania, with fans eagerly awaiting to see if anyone could finally defeat the Dead Man on the grandest stage of them all. In 2020, The Undertaker announced his retirement, bringing an end to an illustrious career that spanned 30 years. His final match, a boneyard match against AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36, was a fitting end to his storied career. It was a cinematic, action-packed encounter that paid homage to The Undertaker's legacy and left fans with one last unforgettable memory. The Undertaker's impact on the world of professional wrestling is immeasurable. He has inspired countless wrestlers and entertained millions of fans around the world. In 2022, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, a fitting tribute to a career that has left an indelible mark on the industry. The legacy of The Undertaker will continue to live on as new generations of fans discover the magic and mystique of the Deadman.